Coach, it is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. Out now to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Come on, QB, come on.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He's got the rookie, Darius Slayton. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards, the final tally.
1st and 10 at the 42.
Further. Hey. 4 down.
They go read option with Wilson. And an alley to run. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson, 42 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10, right at the 30. Here's Dalton. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage. Well, the Bengals and Seahawks meeting here in Week 1, and this is a combination that we haven't seen that often on the turf. If you look back to when the franchises began facing each other all the way back in 1977. But since then, just 20 meetings between the two teams. And the Bengals have won 11 of them, including the last meeting back in October of 2015. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, got stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. That's Ziggy Ansah, the number 5 pick in 2013, credited with a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
To try again after the sack. Dalton. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 22-yard line.
First down, Cincinnati.
And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Shaquem Griffin, he was relentless there as he hits home for the sack. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Andy Dalton. And he's going to go down again. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down. And this is no good. Close, but he misses just left of the upright. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
What? 380. 14. Hey, 0.
This time Wilson will throw. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Well. 52.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. He will find the rookie from Ole Miss. That's DK Metcalf. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
36 power. Mike 52.
They go play action now. Wilson. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 25 yards that time.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
6 guard. Check 6 guard. 14. Let's go. 52. You gonna get this, boy? You think you gonna get this?
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
At the Bengals' 4-yard line.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. As they come up now, second and goal. From back at the 4, here's second and goal.
You gonna see me in your nightmares.
Now it's Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf with his first career touchdown in his first career game. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
Touchdown, Seahawks.
Now Myers for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. On second and 9, Dalton. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And that'll set them back 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. Third and long. Passing. It's Dalton. He's got his man here. It's Green. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Dalton here from the gun. He's going to air it out deep for Green. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
36 power. He's checking. Crash. 57's Mike. Mike 57.
On first down, Wilson. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 yards there, first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard. Is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
2nd and 10. Dalton once more. Dancing to his left. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Hands up. 368. Push him back. Hey, Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Watch twist.
And Dalton to throw. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
First down, Bengals.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack on 1st down, Dalton under pressure again, and down he goes again. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals.
I'm coming after you.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Yeah, they should have. 190. Go. Here we go.
First and 10.
stepping up. He's going to keep him. And Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Bengals grab it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
At the 28-yard line.
Now watch one. Gun.
They'll run on first down. It's Carson, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Watch the twist. 12.
Play action. Now Wilson. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT, and the route is on here in this first half.
Michael Dixon set to kick off.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Throwing, Dalton. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go, D.
Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
First play of the drive, a first down run. Well, that sets you up for whichever way you want to go. Do you come right back and run the football again because you've got them on their heels? Or do you play chess match with them? break tendency, and go play action and go for the big shot.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf in the final seconds of the first half as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
That's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook, but even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. 16 yards, a 1st down.
49's the mic. Watch 49.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Mike 49.
Here you go, 368.
Here we go, D. Here I come again.
Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Boyd. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal gain. 52 yards. And the Bengals are in for 6. On for the point after is Randy Bullock. And he converts, and it cuts the lead to 35-7. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
by the time
we have to leave the booth.
And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line.
He's brought down back at the 60.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll force upon them a 3rd and 14.
Stop your whining.
Let's go, 4 down, 4 down.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now here's Michael Dixon. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Ross on the return. He'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
A 1st down throw coming for Dalton. And now here's another interception. Picked off around the 41. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
Easy.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down.
Watch the screen.
Left.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run. 57.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener. And it's a first down.
First and 10. Let's get it together. Let's get it together.
Hey, 0. 57's Mike. Oh, yeah, punt. 57's Mike. Mike, you did that.
On first and 10, it's Wilson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
He'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a fourth down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Mike's 49. Mike's 49.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Buying time to his left. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
52, 93, 44, 44.
Dalton, first and 10. Caught Eifert over the middle. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Back now in Seattle, Washington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Andy Dalton now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10. This will be Dalton again. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's second and 20. Here's Dalton. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. But you said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week 1, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage definitely goes to the offense.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
They'll try on fourth. Here's Dalton. And the return will stop right around the 25. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times.
55.
This is Homer. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. Second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Down to lose one.
Gun.
Strong right. We got 4.
This time Wilson will throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. His big game continues. 10 catches now and another first down. Wilson now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain there of 21 yards. Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. On the delay, here's Carson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Let's get it.
Alert.
57's the mic.
Hey.
You got nothing today. You got nothing.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wilson. And he finds a man on a crossing route. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
Well, partner, this drive has been a model of efficiency. They've done everything they've wanted to. And the defensive guys, they've got to be getting frustrated. They can't figure out how to get off the field.
A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Better bring it. I'll go special.
They'll run this with Homer. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Flushed out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Bobby Wagner, the former 2nd-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Slam.
4th down, Dalton wants to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's going to be out of bounds. Here's the run back. Will leave him shy of the 20-yard line.
At their own 19-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They'll run here with Mixon. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And an alley to run.
Today's
So the victory here for Seattle. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?